Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to show you what the smooth sharp operator in random flow is all about. So this is primarily made to get rid of the bonding issues when it comes to shading of cylindrical objects or other organic shapes when using subdivision in something like the random loop extrude and random panels operator. So we're going to start with the cylinder, okay, and just use this sides to create the detail. And we're going to shade out the smooth and use random panels just to show you the subdivision banding. So if we increase the cuts to 1, 2, I think you can see it, the lines here. You can see the bumps. That is what I term as the subdivision bonding issue when it comes to using subdivision in Python script in Blender. So this is not the same with the subdivision modifier. Let me just increase it some more. And the more you increase it, the more the issue becomes visible. So why not just use the subdivision modifier? The subdivision modifier cannot be used in the middle of the script because it is generating another kind of data that can't be accessed by the script if it isn't applied. So um, it's uh, it's not those subdivision, those extra resolution that is provided by the subdivision modifier is um, only available for the script to manipulate when the modifier is applied. So you have to use the subdivision command in the Python itself, but it has this issue right here. And also with the subdivision modifier, it cannot uh, maintain this shape unless you add. So for example, this one, unless you add supporting edges. So this is what the subdivision surface would look like. You can use simple, but again, so you see the subdivision banding. Um, you can use simple, but again, the data cannot be touched unless the subdivision modifier is applied. So it is not possible in this case to use the subdivision modifier. Okay, so the only way to get rid of that is after the operation. So this subdivision banding here, select the mesh, the randomized mesh, go to extras, mesh, and smooth sharp. And as you can see, the banding issues disappears immediately. So you can smooth them out, but not too much because the geometry will be flattened. So it has parameters here which says smooth sharp and smooth flat. So in the geometry, it pertains to, for example, this area right here. So this is the flat area, and this will be, and also these are the flat areas as well, or the faces. And then it pertains to vertices. So in this case, the vertices that will be smoothed out in this selection are this one. And then we have the smooth sharp, that those are the vertices of the sharp edges like this. And how sharp it is defined by the sharpness threshold in the top as the top parameter. So smooth, sharp. So this one here, sharpness. And you can increase the repetition based on the factor for the smoothing to get rid of the banding issue. There we go. You can see, can you see it? The change in the shading. So you use like just the appropriate amount to not really distort the geometry too much. And then you can also smooth the edges like that. So you can see the effect. I just exposed this command here just to let you have an option to actually smooth the sharp edges if you want. But the main parameter here is this smooth flat. And you also have offset to offset those vertices that are smoothed out. So when they become too flattened by the smoothing, you can use this to actually puff them out again. But this also has some weird uses if you want to buff faces like that. Okay, so it has its own uh auxiliary or extra use. So zero offset and probably just repeat of one. Zero zero five here. So that kind of gets rid of the banding issue. So Control Z. So you can see the banding right there. And then we're going to. So this is with the smoothing, and this is with no smoothing. Okay. The issue still remains, but mostly in these areas here. You can still see the bumps that are created by the banding here. So those are the banding issues. And that what it is primarily made for. The mesh smooth sharp operator to get rid of the banding issues when subdividing uh, randomized meshes in cylindrical objects. But there is another use for this as well, besides the puffing part. So in the earlier videos, I showed you the smoothing feature in random panels, and let's just use create special and increase the subdivision. Let's auto mirror this and use smoothing. So you can use smoothing to create like a more rounded shape and less angular. So you can also do that with, if you don't want, with smooth sharp. If you don't want to actually do it in the random panels or while operating random panels, if you don't want to do it here, you can do it using smooth sharp. So you have an option to keep this and just create a duplicate that you can try the smoothing on while keeping this more angular shape. So for example, this one, and going to use smooth sharp, and here let's try make 5. Yeah, smooth sharp. There we go. And then you can also flatten the flat areas using this. Just play around with this until you get the look that you want. So yeah, and shade smooth. There you go. So that is the smooth sharp. So if you're wondering about the cylinders, those banding, that is what the operator is used for. So shade out smooth, random panels, use this, use the subdivision. So you see the banding, and it gets worse as the resolution goes higher. So go to extras, mesh, smooth sharp, and should probably create a preset for this right here. In the next update. Okay, 0. And we're just going to use the smooth flat to get rid of the banding. There we go. Just I think, yeah, level 1, and then just pamper the offset. There you go. So doesn't really get rid of the problem. It kind of hides the problem, but yeah, that's one way to stabilize the surface of the mesh. There you go. So smooth sharp. If you don't know it yet. Okay, so that's the video. If you have any questions, use the comment section or the links in the description. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.